Hello, everyone. This is Omar from the third rail. I hope everybody's doing well. Haven't been here in a while. Been doing a lot of stuff, man. Been doing a lot of stuff. Haven't been feeling good. A lot of things are going on, man. The war continues. Ukraine is losing the war, and Gaza is being destroyed. They're destroying its infrastructure, but they're not defeating the. They haven't defeated the resistant fighters. They can't defeat them. You can't defeat somebody that's fighting for his land. It's not realistic. Okay. Okay. I'm just checking the mic because a lot of things happened before I started. Anyway, there's a phone over here 1-800-409-00 what? I don't know 82 whatever the hell it is. You can call that number if you want to have a conversation 83. Or you could do a WhatsApp. WhatsApp, you can use it from any country in the world, from Russia, from China, from India, whatever you want to do. Call. All right, guys. So let's start of what's going on here in the United States. I mean, America has turned into a client state. Instead of Israel being the client state, the United States is the client state because there's so much money involved with the Israeli lobby, the Jewish lobby in the United States, and Jewish money, Jewish millionaires and billionaires are giving a lot of money, and they are affecting our discourse, our political discourse in this country in a lot of way. You understand? So let's hope everything's okay. Um, so I want you to stay with me because I want you to get educated about the situation that's going on, how the United States is not operating under its self-interest. The United States is not operating under its self-interest or being endangered by a state they created out of thin air that has become wild and vicious and murderous, almost Nazi-like. That is not real Israel. Yes, because if you say it, you're not going to get it. You don't get monetized no more. You get no money from YouTube. I hope the lights are okay. It makes me have yellow skin. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is that when you have Congress and the Senate, Democrat and Republicans are even more, that is supporting one state, usually split. It depends on who the voters are. Jews in the United States, 74% to 75% of American Jews, they vote Democrat. But why are the Republicans so attached to Israel? There's two different stories. The evangelist Zionist Christians who believe in the idea that Israel and the Jews are the chosen people and they must fill Israel. All the Jews must come home to Israel so they could induce the second rapture and Jesus Christ will come and rule the day and then tell the Jews you convert or you die. So there's a lot of interest. The Republican, the majority of them are mostly Masonic interests, stupid interests. It doesn't make no sense. And the Democrats and Republicans are beholden to money from AIPAC. A lot of money from Jewish organizations, from Jewish philanthropies, from Jewish billionaires like that guy, what's his name? Ackman, whatever the fuck his name is. The Addison, his wife. Addison gave $100 million to Trump when he was alive. His wife is now in Israel. That's why they moved the embassy to Israel, to Jerusalem. He gave him $100 million so Trump could move the embassy to Jerusalem. Everybody is fucking bought by AIPAC and a lot of money. That's why it's not our country. So let's go back. Let's go to the meat and the potatoes of the show today. You saw the reason I have the thumbnail, it says Minority Report. That was a movie that came out a couple of years ago, about a decade ago, with Tom Cruise. The whole idea was that they had the ability to predict the crime and the criminal before it happens, and they go either get him kill them. That's what Israel is doing right now in Gaza. It's called something called the Lavender AI. The Lavender AI it's an AI program that was created by Israel to keep tabs on 2.3 million Gazans. They know their names, they know where they live, they know their phone numbers. And out of those 2.3 million, there's about 35 to 40,000 they are considered militants or dangerous or terrorists, or they have a scale from 1 to 100, how bad he is, should we get him? That's why there's a lot of civilian death, because the machine was just telling them attack any place. And the whole idea is when they used to bomb these buildings, because the machine told them there's a militant in there, they did not take into consideration the kids, the wife, the mother, the neighbors. They didn't give a fuck. And they always say Hamas hide behind civilians. These guys don't even know they're on the list. Some of them are not even militants, probably. That's about 25% to 35% of Gazan men. Remember, out of the 2 million Gazan, 1 million is under 18 years old. And let's say the other half is women. So you're talking about 40% of all Palestinians are on this list of the machine called Lavender, and they were fair game for the Israelis to kill. So they just killed everybody because the machine said, well, they gave them all these targets, and they destroyed the whole city with people inside these buildings and killed more than 33,000 Palestinians until today, which is shameful and should be a war crime. Now we know why. I'm going to get into it later on. I'm going to put on a video. I'm going to go to a newspaper and look at it. You want to start there? Okay. Let's start. Let's see what the program is first. This is a report. Let me see. Is this it?
Identifies terrorist operatives.
Okay, wait. Okay, this is it. Now listen. Okay.
According to Israeli investigative journalists at 972 Plus magazine, Israel has been using an artificial intelligence machine called Lavender to identify thousands of potential Hamas targets in Gaza. The report says Israeli intelligence sources who served in the current war told how Lavender collects information on almost all the 2.3 million residents.
On all 2.3 million Palestinians are under surveillance by this machine. Unbelievable. This is like futurist bullshit, man. This is like the movie Minority Report. Go see it. It was Tom Cruise. Right?
Of the Gaza Strip through a system of mass surveillance, and on a scale of 1 to 100 gives a likelihood that each person is a member of the military wing of Hamas. Being in a WhatsApp group with a known militant, changing address frequently, or swapping phones every few months could all be factors.
You see this? Let's say you are a member of a WhatsApp group, they consider you a member of Hamas. Or you moving addresses, they figure that you're part of Hamas. If you swap in mobiles, if you get a new phone every 3-4 months, they consider you Hamas. Now the whole idea, okay, if they're militants and they consider them enemy combatants, it's okay. But when you go to their houses and bomb the whole family and then come on TV and tell us Hamas is hiding behind women and children, they didn't even know they were going to kill them. They were sleeping home. They didn't know. You had doctors, you had lawyers, you had professors that were killed under this program. We were saying, what's going on? Why are they bombing so crazy without any thinking about the death and destruction they're going to bring to these women and children, these motherfuckers? Excuse my language. So this is the program they had. This is like the movie. I saw this movie about 10 years ago. Unbelievable.
In the machine determining potential targets to kill. The report claims that after October the 7th, Israel decided to move from targeting high-level Hamas figures to anyone regarded as in the organization.
So remember, they had a scale before they started, like they only whatever the machine says, 80%, 90%. Sure. Then they went to the lower. They just said kill everybody. Whoever's name's on that list, just kill them. They went on. This is what's going on in Gaza. It's Nazi like. What's going on in Gaza? It's unbelievable. I mean, the world is just sad silence. We, the United States of America, keep on giving them 2,000 bombs. You know, I'm 200 pounds. That's 10 of me in one bomb that are destroying homes and neighborhoods. Hamas don't have no tanks. They don't have no airplanes. They don't have no armored vehicles you can hit them. They don't have shit. They're in the tunnels like rats. Let's finish this, man.
No matter how junior, and alleges that during the first stage of the war, when thousands were killed in a few weeks, the military allowed for 15 to 20 civilians to be killed as collateral damage per militant.
Allah. You saw what they said? It's okay to kill 15 to 20 civilians if there is one militant in the building or in the premises where they are. That's not collateral damage. That's fucking mass murder. That's Nazi. I think the Jews in Israel, whatever happened to them in Europe, whatever, or in Germany, or the ghettos of Poland, wherever they were, they are using the same tactics on the Palestinians. And it's such a shame you have a people who moved from another continent running away from oppression and suppression and murder and mayhem and the Holocaust, only to create a Holocaust on the native population that's living there. It's unbelievable.
In a system dubbed Where's Daddy, bombings often taking place.
You hear what where is Daddy? The operation name is Where is Daddy? That means they're alluding to the children. They're going to be orphans. I'm telling you, Israel is an evil country. It's dangerous. They have nuclear bombs. You know, I want to go and talk more. I think the United States is under danger from within. Because I saw them on Twitter, the way they talk, they just came out all full Nazis. No more of that liberal bullshit. Live and let live bullshit they've been teaching us for the last 40 to 60 years so we could vote. Fucking liberal and Democrats and put them in power.
When targets had been tracked to their family homes. At its peak, Lavender allegedly picked out 37,000 possible targets. In its development, it has claimed human checks on the targets.
These are 37,000 Palestinian men between the age of 18 to whatever. Now, I remember I told you there are 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza. 1.2 million are children under the age of 18, so they're not on the list. And then you have the other million, you have half of them are women, or, you know, it's even. So that means that's almost like 40% of Palestinians are inside this machine, and they are targets to be killed wherever they are. Even with, the Israeli army said it's okay if there's 15 to 20 people in the building, it's okay to kill them if they want to kill that one guy. I have never, I live in the United States all my life. Don't worry about the accent. I'm a fucking idiot. I came here as a baby. The whole idea, I have never been scared in my whole life to talk about Israel and what they're doing in Gaza. They are vicious. The way they talk is scary. They are inciting people against Muslims in Europe and the United States. They are showing videos of Muslims, and they say, what do these people add to Western society as a way to create a hatred? That's like anti-Semitism 101. Imagine if I put a video of Hasidic Jews in Brooklyn shaking their heads. I said, look, what do these Jews add to Western society? Am I not inciting violence against them? They are doing this shit on Twitter. Scary stuff. I think the United States is under danger, man, from within. Because what I saw in Israel, such cruelty and viciousness and hatred and murder of people is unbelievable. That means these people have no sense of mercy or empathy. Nothing. They have destroyed their homes, their schools, their mosques, their roads, their churches, their synagogues. Well, they have one synagogue. The Muslim haven't touched this synagogue for 1,000 years. But the Israeli Jewish army came and destroyed almost 400 mosques. This is a desperation of Zionism. Zionism is collapsing, my friends. It ran right into the war. We'll get into that later. Stay with me, man. Press like to
Selected by
share.
Lavender,
Join the
suggested
team.
it was accurate 90% of the time in picking out Hamas members. So in a campaign killing thousands, it was accepted that 1 in 10 targets were not Hamas. Lavender was allegedly wrongly picking police officers, civil defense workers, or relatives of militants. In a statement to Channel 4 News, the IDF denied using AI to identify targets.
Okay, they said that this machine is picking targets. What's the difference between them and what the German Nazis did to the Jews when they made them wear the gold star or the yellow star? I don't think it's gold. Yeah, I don't know. And it says Judah on their chest. It's the same thing. It's just this is an electronic. It's an electronic machine, and those were physical things. There is no difference between when Jews were marked with the word Judah on their clothes in the 1930s and 40s inside Nazi Germany than these people who are being targeted by a machine that is willing to kill. Even the death ratio is crazy. And even 1 out of 10, they said, is a relative or somebody who's like the garbage man or the lecturer or the police officer or the road officer. You understand? This is evil. This is Nazi-like, man. The Nazis never died. Nazism was never defeated. They're right in Israel right now. The children of the Nazis are right now inside the Netanyahu government. I'm going to say it. I don't know if I get in trouble or not on YouTube. I don't give a fuck no more because the Palestinian lives are more important than money and honesty and truthful.
And said, contrary to Hamas, the IDF is committed to international law and acts accordingly. They claimed to make efforts to reduce harm to civilians and said that exceptional incidents undergo thorough examinations and investigations, and the process of identifying military targets in the IDF consists of various types of tools and methods. Well, earlier I spoke to the journalist Yuval Abraham, who wrote that article for Plus 972 magazine. The IDF have issued a statement saying the IDF does not use an artificial intelligence system that identifies terrorist operatives or tries to predict whether a person is a terrorist.
I read that out to one of the sources, and he burst out laughing. He said it's just not true. It's a lie. I mean, and if you look at, for example, in 2023, the IDF itself.
We're going to go to the article. This is the person, he's a Jewish, he's an Israeli who cracked the story and found out.
One of the top commanders in the IDF, the head of the H200 AI data center, gave a lecture in Tel Aviv University where he presented a machine that, quote, uses AI to identify terrorists. He was relating to 2021. So I don't know who wrote that response from the IDF, but it's clearly not true, based on their own statements in the past, and also based on what I've heard from numerous Israeli intelligence officers. The sources said that they knew there's a data science team that checked. They took a random sampling of this 37,000 and checked one by one. They realized that the machine is occasionally marking complete civilians or people who have a very loose relation to Hamas, for example. The decision was made to authorize strikes based on this list without meaningfully supervising it. One source, for example...
That's the key, isn't it? This question of what they would do with the list to check it. Because the Israeli statement is very, they're very insistent that there's a process of identifying military targets, and that these are, that these are people and teams, according to international humanitarian law. And what your article is suggesting is that there were no meaningful checks at all.
So what sources told me is that the protocol in the places that they were in the IDF, was to check. The only check that was in place was to check whether the target was to listen if the targeted individual, it has a male voice or a female voice. And if it's a female, they said the machine for sure made a mistake because it's not supposed to mark women. There are no women who are militants. But if it's a male, they were to accept Lavender's recommendation without needing to look at it, without needing to look at the raw intelligence data. And one source, I asked him, he said, he claimed he bombed dozens of houses every day based on these recommendations in the beginning. He said 40, 50 houses a day that he authorized.
Wow.
And I asked him, how much time did you spend before bombing a house that is often killing a Palestinian family? And he told me, and this is a quote, he said, roughly 20 seconds. It does not take a long time to figure out if somebody has a male voice or a female voice. And I've heard that criteria, male or female, from more than one source.
How did they explain that they were ordered to work in that way? You know, could Israel say these were people who were not doing their job properly? You know, analysts are supposed to look at lists, analyze intelligence, and take considered decisions. And if they were only considering it for 20 seconds, they weren't doing their job.
So what I heard from these sources is that this is the command they got. Like like one source said, quote, there was not a zero mistake policy. In order to accelerate the target production, in order to bomb so many human targets, they realized that they have to accept these machine results.
What difference do you think the AI machine made? You know, do you think it meant that they were able to kill more people more quickly? Or perhaps, you know, without that machine, might the bombing have been even more indiscriminate?
One of the sources told me, he said, the machine did it in a cold way. He said, everybody lost people on October 7th. You know, the fact that we relied on the machine so much, on a statistical mechanism, you know, it made him feel comfortable. And this, in this operation came on the expense of precision. It came on the expense of targeting civilians occasionally as targets. And it came on the expense of the human agency of Israeli soldiers. And I saw it again and again in the process, in calculating how many civilians.
So each soldier used to approve the bombing of 20 to 30 to 50 homes, and it should take them 20 seconds to decide if the target is viable. Now, the criteria that they use for the criteria that they use to bomb a home at night or a building is, if they heard a male voice, like a man's voice, it's okay, bomb. Okay, now you bombed the building, then you killed women, the wife, the children, the neighbor, the nephews, because, you know, Arab culture, multi-generation, all families live in the same house. So the question you have to ask is, why do Israeli officials go on TV and just say, oh, Hamas is hiding behind women and children? You are killing them in their house. They're not even, everybody's not Hamas. And everybody is a resistant fighter. You see, people don't understand that the Palestinians are under occupation. I'm sure every Palestinian doesn't fucking like Israel and hate Israel. It's very simple. I mean, if you're occupied by another country, you're not supposed to like them. You understand? That's the whole game.
Are in each house. You know, some sources said they did not even check if they managed to kill the targets. They abandoned the BDA protocol, bomb damage assessment, so they can move on to the next target. I think this emphasis that was placed on the kill lists, you know, we're going to kill every single Hamas operative, even if it means that we will sometimes kill civilians, and even if it means if we're going to kill entire families in the process. One source said that this policy, in his mind, was partially motivated by revenge. And I think the last thing I will say, you know, I think if international law has meaning, if when we are saying all of these things that we've been hearing over the past months, a principle of proportionality, a principle of distinction, if these words have meaning, if they're not just, you know, some lip service that we're paying, then I think what my investigation show and what my sources are telling me is that the military emptied it out of meaning.
Yuval Abraham, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So the lavender operation, which is AI, that picked the targets that the Israeli wanted. Sorry, my lips look goddamn messed up. That the Israeli used to pick human beings to kill. it was spying on more than 2.3 million Palestinians through their phones, through their addresses. It knew almost where everybody is. But the criteria to kill, they were bombing 30 to 40, 50 houses a day. Under the criteria is they don't give a fuck. Under the criteria of revenge. Because the whole idea was if you could hear a man talking inside the building, then he's a terrorist. Kill him. The whole idea is to kill human beings or to revenge October 7, where the Israeli military was embarrassed, and the myth of the invisible army, the Jewish strong Israeli army that is unbeatable or undefeatable, got defeated. The Palestinians took 22 towns and 11 military complex or compounds. Imagine if they had tanks or any real weapons, they would took Israel. It's weak. Israel is weaker than the house of what do you call it in Arabic? A Beit al-Inkabut, the house of a spider. You know how the spider has those webs? That's what Israel military is like. That's why all this cruelty and viciousness against the Palestinians. So let's go to the article that this guy wrote. Alhamdulillah. Let's see it. All right. Share screen. Okay, where's the article? APAC. Lavender. No, it's not it. Okay. This is the article that the guy who just left here, he wrote. Over here. Okay, here. Lavender, the AI machine directing Israel's bombing spree in Gaza. The Israeli army has marked tens of thousands of Gazans as suspects for assassination using an AI target system with little human oversight and a perceptive policy for casualty. This is by a magazine called 972, which I think is the area code for Israel. This is a Jewish magazine. But by the way, full disclosure, I pay $25 a month to help them out. All right. So this is the guy. His name is Yavil Ibrahim. In 2021, a book titled "The Human Machine Team: How to Create Synergy Between Humans and Artificial Intelligence That Will Revolutionize Our World" was released in English under the pen name Brigadier General Y.S. Innet. The author, a man who confirmed to be the current commander of the elite Israeli intelligence unit 8200, this is like a Mossad, makes the case for designating special machine that could rapidly process massive amounts of data to generate thousands of potential targets for military strikes in the heat of a war. Such technology, he writes, will resolve what he described as human bottleneck for both location and new targets and decisive making to approach the target. So what he's saying right there is they're saying that it's like a video game. They have a video game where they pick any Palestinian home and they just blow it up. Doesn't matter, children, women, men. It doesn't matter. These people have lost their humanity. They are not humans. They are subhuman. They are the animals. Remember when the defense minister of Israel said the Palestinians were human animals? We saw who the animals are. The animals are the Israelis. They're killing everything. They're destroying everything. Such as machine, it turns out, actually exists. A new investigation by Plus 972 magazine and local call reveals that the Israeli army has developed an artificial intelligence-based program known as Lavender. unveiled here for the first time. According to 6 Israeli intelligence officers who have all served in the army during the current war on the Gaza Strip and had first-hand involvement with the use of AI to generate targets for assassination. It's not assassination, it's mass murder. Lavender has played a central role in the unprecedented bombing of Palestinians, especially during the early stages of the war. In fact, according to the sources, its influences on the military operation was such that they essentially treated the outputs of the AI machine as if it were human decisions. So, in other words, whatever the machine said, they just did. They did not make sure. They did not clarify or look at the targets. It's just that's it. That's it. Formerly, the lavender system this is dangerous. This is the future, people. That's how they're going to kill each other, humans with machines. Formerly, the lavender system is designed to make all suspected operatives in the military wing of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, including low-ranking ones, maybe a friend or a neighbor, ones a potential bombing target. The source told Plus 972 on Local, that's the name of the magazine, that during the first weeks of the war, the army almost completely relied on lavender, which clocked as many as 37,000 Palestinians as suspects, militants, and their homes for possible airstrike. That's why you have this mass bombing, because they are dependent on a machine to tell them how to kill human beings. This is not right. This should not be. This is not normal, my friends. This is some crazy stuff. During the early stages of the war, here I am right here. I'm reading. Okay, that is you. Okay. Whoa, go back. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do that. During the early stages of the war, the army gave sweeping approval for officers to adopt lavender, kill list. They say kill anybody you want, with no requirements to thoroughly check why the machine made those choices or to examine the raw intelligence data on which they were based on. One source stated that human personnel often served only as a rubber stamp for the machine. That means whatever the machine said, they said, okay, go kill them. The machine's decision adding that normally they will personally devote only about 20 seconds to each target before authorizing a bombing, just to make sure the lavender marked target is male. So in other words, it took them 20 seconds to make the decisions whether to kill these human beings. The main source or criteria was if the machine heard a male voice, a man talking, then they bombed the building. This is war crime. This is genocidal bullshit. This is Nazis. This is the same. This is not. It's not human, man. It's not human. I hope these motherfuckers get theirs one day. This was despite knowing that the system maker makes what are regarded as error in approximately 10% of casualties, and is known to occasionally mark individuals who have merely a loose connection to a military group. So that means 10% of the people are innocent. Forget about the women and children. These are the targets. They make a mistake. That means out of 100 men, 10 men will be killed for no reason, because the machine made a mistake. And out of the 100 people, their wives and children will be dead. And they'll come on TV, these fucking animals, these pro genocidal apologists and go tell you that Hamas is hiding behind women and children. Hamas, motherfucker, you're bombing people in their homes. Moreover, oh, sorry. No. Come on. Yeah. What is that? See, I made a mistake here. I hate when I touch things. All right. Moreover, let me read more. Moreover, Israel's army systematically attacked the targets individually while they were in their homes, usually at night, while their whole families were present, rather than during the course of military activity. That means if they were in the battlefield, it's okay, or in the tunnels. But you're killing people you suspect are terrorists in their homes while they are at that moment sleeping with their children and their families. Allah, 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 Allah. According to the sources, this was because from what they regarded as intelligence standpoint, it was easier to locate the individual in their private house. Additionally, automated system, including one calling, "Where's Daddy?" Alaykum na'anatullah ya bigrimin. Curse on you. These are criminal. Israel is criminal. The name of the program was called "Where's Daddy?" That means the bomb is looking for the father. In other words, it's telling you that the children and women is going to die. It's not saying where's the terrorist. It's saying where's Daddy. That means Daddy has children. He's the head of the family. So they knew, they deliberately murdered women and children. Unbelievable, man. History will never forgive the United States and Joe Biden for letting this happen, because without Joe Biden, this shit would not be happening like this. Also revealed here for the first time were used specifically to track the targeted individual and carry out bombings when they had entered their family's residence. This is the outcome, people. This is what they do. The result, as a source testified, is thousands of Palestinians, most of them women and children, or people who were not involved in the fighting, were wiped out by Israeli airstrikes, especially during the first weeks of the war because of the AI program. This program killed generation. They wiped out whole generations of family. That means the father, the mother, the grandfather. That means the whole name disappeared. We were not interested in the killing operatives only when they were in a military building. There's no military buildings in Gaza. Or engaged in a military activity. An intelligence of officers toward 972. So let's come to this conclusion. Get rid of, oh, sorry. All right, I'm back. So, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, what I'm trying to tell you here is that there is no value for certain human beings in this world if you don't fit the right criteria. There is no value. These people is being killed since October, right? And nothing happened. Nobody got upset. Nobody got mad. And when the food trucks were attacked, the whole world went crazy. When the 8 people died because Israel blew up their vans, then the TV station in the United States covered it. The news covered it. Joe Biden spoke on it. Everybody was saying, oh, it should never have happened. This is dangerous. This is almost like, this is unhuman. This is terrorism. Because 8 white people died. Sorry, I have nothing against white. But because of 8 white people who died, or people with different passports, the whole world finally said enough is enough. You have to understand what Israel is doing, man. Israel is using food as a weapon. Israel is creating a famine. There's a lot of people who are eating grass inside Gaza. It is an area of 350 miles. That's it. It's not a big area. It's probably the size of Manhattan in New York City. And to add insult to injury, the United States, which gives the 2,000 pound bomb to Israel, is unable to force Israel to open the crossings and bring food. Even the side Egypt is a fucking piece of shit country, and is owned by the United States because we give Egypt $1.6 billion. Egypt's military is our military because we pay their salaries, we pay with their weapons. So they really are our army. They're not Egypt's army. And Joe Biden, that fucking weak old man, could not convince a country like Israel, who we give almost $18 billion this year, and we give them weapons and help and everything they want. They will not listen to Joe Biden to open a crossing for food to get into northern Gaza on purpose. So what do? They play these games. The game they play is they started dropping food from the sky. Really? And they were dropping it in the ocean. 18 people died in one day. They drowned trying to get the food. So there's this thing that is I don't trust what it is. It's called a port. The United States is building a port in Gaza. It's supposed to be a temporary port to bring food from ships. In other words, we have 6 crossing. We could bring food within 1 hour. But we're going to build a port. It's going to take about 2 months to build and cost about $40 million to build so we could bring food. It doesn't make any sense. There's something there about the port. There's something there. It's not making any sense. And I know what it is. They want to voluntarily migrate the Palestinians in Gaza. What they're going to do is they're going to bring big ships and they're going to start offering Gaza family visa to Europe, to England, to Germany, to the United States, and give them $10,000 to leave Gaza. They are helping Israel ethnically cleanse the Palestinian, because you have to use your head. Israel was trying to push them to the Sinai, to Egypt. Egypt told them, listen, they're not coming in because it's going to be war. We're not going to take your problem, then spend another 20, 30 years fighting with you as you bomb our country. So they had to come with an idea. Egypt is not going to take these people that we don't want. We already destroyed their homes, their cemeteries, everything. So what they're going to do, they're going to put them in boats. Let's say I have a family. My wife has dead. My father died, was killed. Everybody was killed. I only have me and my 2 daughters. I have no place to go. I'm homeless. Of course, they're going to say, listen, Omar, this is $10,000. Get on the boat and start a new life in England or in France or in the United States. We're going to give you a refugee statue and you get to live a new life. Of course, a lot of people are going to say yes. It is what it is, right? So a lot of people wonder why Israel is reacting more than it's supposed to react. I'm going to tell you what the idea was. Israel was going to. This is a door fixing something. Israel was supposed to become the top dog in the Middle East. Everybody's scared of Israel because they say, "Oh, Israel they have this army, it's strong. They have these weapons. They have everything." And Israel was supposed to be the new top dog in the Middle East. That's why they did the Abrahamic treaty with the UA, with Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Bahrain and Morocco, because the United States, the whole plan was everybody's afraid of Iran. And everybody thought the only people who's going to protect them is Israel, because they had the myth of the 6 Day War, the 10 Day War, the Israeli army that took over almost half the countries, because they were more ready, they had more better weapons, and the Arabs were fucking shell countries. So the whole dream was the United States wanted to go to the Far East because the United States needed to keep China in check. So when that happened, when October 7th happened and the Israeli army collapsed and the Israeli intelligence service collapsed, and now 6 months of war, they have not accomplished anything. The only thing they have accomplished is bombing houses and civilian infrastructure. Hamas is still there. They're going to fight them. And imagine they could not defeat a resistant movement that makes its own weapons inside Palestine. So now Israel is going to look real weak. The mystique of the Israeli army is gone. The detergence of this powerful military, well trained. They're not well trained. A couple of children, kids running around, taking women's underwears, stealing money from houses. A bunch of fucking thieves. They were crying. You think they're going to fight Hezbollah? Or they're going to fight Iran face to face? Why do you think Israel is attacking, is assassinating Iranian leaders, Iranian generals, attacking the embassy? They want to get the United States into a war. Everybody knows that. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So let's move to our next thing. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, 7 aid workers, see, it was really 8. They don't want to mention the Palestinians, not human. 7 aid workers, including foreign nationals, of course, the 7 were from the nonprofit organization World Central Kitchen, were killed in Israel's military strike while delivering food to starving civilians in Gaza. Israel's policy is they don't want people to eat. They want life to be so terrible that they just want to kill these Palestinians. These dedicated individuals risk their lives to bring much needed humanitarian aid to a region devastated by conflict. The aid workers were traveling in a deconflicted zone. What that means is it's already known that this area should not be attacked, and they have an idea who is going through there. There was communication by these 3 vans that they're going to travel from one place to place, and the Israeli army attacked them viciously, not once, not twice, but 3 different times, over 1.8 kilo. Every time they hit a truck, they run away. Allah. Despite coordination their movements with the IDF, tragedy struck as they were leaving the Dar al-Balah warehouse. This warehouse had just received over 100 tons of humanitarian food aid brought to Gaza via the Marshall route. They came by a boat. Among those killed were a dual U.S. citizenship, individuals from Australia, from Poland, and 3 from the United Kingdom. That's why everybody's in shock, because white people died. And when people of high value die, the world reacts. It's that simple. Let's not kill each other, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's look at some videos. Remove this. In the middle of the night. So, what's this? Yeah. This is a small segment I'm going to use. I'm going to tell you why, what it is. The segment is the Zionist entity is collapsing under its own weight of lies and hypocrisy, and it has 75 years have come to a straight wall. It did not succeed. It is more Israel is more divided than ever. If it wasn't for this war, they would probably be shooting each other already. So the whole idea is, since the Zionists failed to maintain a safe state for the Jews, Israel is not safe, and could not accomplish an outright majority inside these territories. Israel has a majority inside proper Israel, but they agreed for more land and for expansion, for their religious messianics. It's going to cost them a lot, because eventually they're going to be strangled by the Palestinian population. What I mean strangled, I don't mean physically, but I mean there are 7.3 million Palestinians in the occupied territories and inside Israel, and there's another 7.3 million Jews. It's all 50-50. So this is inside the Knesset. These are the family of the hostages, man. They just, I mean, they're gonna start shooting. This is them. This is Israel inside the Knesset. That's like inside our Congress. The game is over. The gig is over. The Zionists, it's over. Israel is over, my friends.
ובכן, 49 בעד, 32 נגד.
Alhamdulillah. Israel is over, my friend. They're gone. It's gone. Israel is gone. Let me see this. These are the religious Jews who study the Torah, and they're lazy motherfuckers between me and you, because all they do is just read the Torah all day. They don't work. Their wives work for them, and the government gives them welfare. But under the agreement for the last 76 years, they do not join the army. They're not going to join the army no more. They will leave the country. I don't know why, before they join an army, because they still don't believe in the idea of Israel. Because according to the Israeli Torah, they're not supposed to be in Israel or even near the Wailing Wall until the Messiah comes and builds the third temple and call on the Jews from all over the world to come home. So these Jews recognize Israel for the purpose of getting warfare, but they don't really want to fight for its existence. They tied themselves. I don't think it was in a highway. There's a lot of videos. It just shows you that the Israeli country is it's gonna evaporate, inshallah, soon. Don't worry. I think these are called the Hardim or the Hardim. I don't know. It's a religious sect inside Israel that do not accept the idea of joining the military and fighting in wars under the pretext that they are reading the Torah, and by reading and studying, they are helping Israel maintain its independence. I don't know, man. I'm not religious. And these are the secular. These are the idiots here. Okay. I'm going to tell you why I don't like these. The worst Israeli is the liberal Israeli, the secret Israeli. You know why? Because they know better. They know the Palestinians are under occupation. They still do not even talk about it. If they came out again because of the hostages, and before the war, they used to come out every weekend against Netanyahu. Imagine if they came out and demanded a peace settlement with the Palestinians. Just telling the Israeli government, we don't want no more games. Give these people their land, and we want to live with them as neighbors. Trust me, I will bet you everything that you want that they will find partners inside the Palestinian people who want peace and who want their own country. But this is them. They will never come out for peace. But they will come out and scream and yell about their children being hijacked. This is inside Tel Aviv. This is a demonstration against Netanyahu because Netanyahu keeps on playing this game that he's getting the that he's getting the hostages home, which is a lie. The whole idea. What I meant by that is the liberal Zionists. They're a fucking piece of shit. Imagine they live in 15 minutes away from the West Banks and they don't say nothing about what's going on to the Palestinians. What kind of liberalism is that? It's a liberalism of convenience. A lot of them are what do you call what we call here in the United States weekend warriors. They are just Israel to them is justification. They have other passports. If there was a report, I'm willing to bet you that every baby born in Israel, maybe 7 out of 10 babies that are born every day in Israel are getting foreign passports from other countries because they know when it's time to go, it's time to go. They know they're just squatters. They're just squatters, man. They're not even renting. The only people who should stay is the Jews who were born in Arabia, the Mazari Jews, the Sephardic, the Jews who are Iranians, Yemenite, Egyptian, Lebanese, Palestinian Jews. They have no place to go, so they have to live with us, and they're very welcome to stay. But these people who have like 2 or 3 passports, they're gonna run away. If Iran bombs Tel Aviv or bombs a whole neighborhood, 2 million Israelis will leave Israel. 2 million Jews will leave Israel and go back to the United States or Europe because they know it's a mirage. It's not real. It's fake. It's phony. How long are you going to maintain this game? Eventually, you're going to collapse. You're going to get tired. Or you're going to go bankrupt fighting the people who refuse to die. Palestinians are not going nowhere, my friends. They're not going nowhere. Okay. Whew, let me get some of these programs I had gotten ready for you guys. Okay. Okay. This is Joe Biden over the weekend. Remember the building that collapsed because of the ship in New Orleans, and about 8 people died. He went there. This is him. Hold on.
It's not the same, but
Here, listen to the speech, please. I want you to listen to the speech. I want you to see what he's saying about his son and how it hurts to have a son that died. Imagine he doesn't have the empathy for 13,000 children, for their mothers and fathers. Just listen to Joe Biden. He's so out of touch.
it's not the same. But I know a little bit about what it's like to lose a piece of your soul, to get that phone call in the middle of the night to say family members are gone. I've been there. It's feeling like having a black hole in your chest, like you're being sucked in, unable to breathe.
Okay, Joe Biden, you know how many Palestinian mothers and fathers feel like here right now? You know how they feel? They feel the same way you do. They lost their kids. You lost your child to cancer. They are losing their children to bombs that you send them to Israel for free. This is not empathy. You're not the comforter in chief. This is the problem. You're a fake, a phony, and a fraud, like the other presidents.
The anger, the pain, the depth of the loss is so profound. And we know it's hard to believe. You're probably not going to believe me, but I can tell you now from personal experience.
We don't believe you.
It's going to come when the memory of your loved one as you walk by that park or the church or something that you shared together.
Yeah, Joe. Imagine what the Palestinians walk around by buildings that have been destroyed, by their churches, by their mosques, and remember their kids that used to go to their school who were killed by your bombs. They're going to have the same things that you're having when you walk certain area where your child did. Joe Biden, what you're describing right now is happening to, let's say, about 25,000 Palestinians. Oh, good.
It's going to bring a smile to your lips before it brings a tear to your eye.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's
No,
going
it's
to take a
not.
while, but I promise you it will happen. And that's when you know you're going to be able to make it. I promise you it will come. Our prayers for you is that time comes sooner rather than later.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The President of the United States is telling us about empathy and about compassion and about people who lose their family. The man just helped kill 35,000 or 37,000 people. All right? Before we go. All right. This is
only that, but
okay. Okay, Morning Joe. Now, I don't watch the regular TVs anymore. I don't watch. I used to watch a lot of MSNBC, but I saw the double standard they have, even with Trump, Donald Trump. They will every day. Donald Trump did this. Donald Trump did that. If I switch my channel right now, if I just open my TV and go to MSNBC, there will be a story about Donald Trump. Why I find the hypocrisy in MSNBC is, remember when Sean Spicer and the other lady, I don't know her fucking name, the spokespeople who held press conferences, they used to say, "Oh, they're liars. Look at them, they're lying." And right now, they had hired that lady, the Romney girl from the GOP. She used to be the GOP chairman. They said because she lied. Okay, you have John Kirby lies every day every day. John Kirby lies. Before he used to cry about the Ukrainian children, they dying. And then October 7th, he cried because he said that 40 babies were killed. There was no 40 babies. But he has never shed a tear for Palestinian children. Even people I know on YouTube are fucking, you have that fucking garbage. What's her name? Brianna Wu. And you have Destiny. That's the people I know. And you have fucking that idiot. What's his name? The toothless motherfucker. What's his name? Wick TV, which I deal with him once in a while. They don't give a damn. They're like, well, there's no evidence that there's a genocide. I mean, so far there is no evidence. You mean 37,000 people dead and about 80% of the homes have been destroyed? Yeah, there's no evidence there. There's no evidence? Oh, okay. Anyway, this is Morning Joe. Now, Morning Joe, I'm surprised. Usually, Morning Joe is usually used for the ADL to threaten other people. Like the ADL comes in there and do the. So they aborted the economic minister of Israel. He was supposed to think he's going to get an easy. Boom, he gets to lie for 2-3 minutes. Nobody challenges him, and everything is okay. Now let's see. It went the wrong way for this guy. Okay, let's see.
Mr. Minister, about the number of civilian deaths among the Gazan population. Not only that.
So remember, the question is about the death of all these civilians, Palestinian civilians. Watch
that, but the famine that now has taken place because Gaza is cut off. Again, no one contests what you're saying about Hamas. We say it every day on this show and have for a very long time, especially after the hideous attack of October 7th. But is Israel concerned about the human suffering inside Gaza, number one, and the number of civilian deaths that have been incurred since this attack began?
We're concerned about 134.
See? The Jewish mental state is they are the ultimate victims. They have to be the victims. They're always looked upon. There's anti-Semitism. There's blood libel. Everybody hates us. Nobody wants us. Nobody cares. And they're very successful. Right now, the United States government is run by Jews. American Jews. I mean, the Secretary of State, I mean, real high, the Department of Homeland Security, the Director of all intelligence services is Jewish. There's a lot, I mean, they are successful. Nobody hates you. So, but the ultimate thing is, whenever you talk to a Jewish person, they are very emotional people. We are the victims. We are, it's not us. Hamas made us kill 40,000 Palestinians. Hamas made us kill their children, It's not us. I mean, the Jews is the ultimate victim. He's always the victim. You see, the question was asked, what do you think about all these killing inside Gaza on the Palestinian side and the famine that people, and he goes right away to the. He already had a poster in his hand. Look, 100.
Hostages. Here's a picture of some of them. These girls are under tunnels for half a year, raped, tortured.
No evidence of rape or torture. I don't know why they keep on putting this idea of it's okay to say that women are getting raped. This is a dangerous trope. They use that because they're like saying, look at a beautiful girl, beautiful Jewish, almost white girls, and those fucking Arabs, they're brown, sexual deviant, raping these women. So sex is used as a weapon. Sexualization is used as a weapon to degrade your enemy and to create this monster that isn't. There is no proof that these women are being raped. There is no proof that these women are being tortured. Now, hold on. Look, he goes to lie more. Look.
This is what we're concerned about. We're concerned about those victims in Israel that were murdered, slaughtered, little children that were put in the oven.
Now, this motherfuckers, they love these oven stories, man. The Jews, they love this oven story. They just love it. It's been debunked by the Israeli television, by the Israeli people on TV, on Israeli newspapers, that there was no babies, was it being cooked? Do you think the Palestinians came into Israel, found a baby, in the midst of the lies, in the midst of the lies, you have to make it make sense. You have the Palestinian resistance who invaded inside occupied Palestine, and they're going to accuse them of cooking babies and raping women. Remember that rabbi? He said that they shot 400 women in their vaginas. I have that thing. I don't know where I put it. I'll find it for you if you want. Hold on. So the question was, excuse me. The question was, what are you going to do about the killing inside Gaza? I mean, what are you going to do about the famine? People are starving, and he goes right to the lies, and he thought he was going to have a good day, but he didn't have a good day.
Those victims in Israel that were murdered, slaughtered, little children that were put in the oven, women that were raped and killed while they were raped.
So this woman was getting raped, and these guys were like Jeffrey Dahmer. As they raped them, they were killing them. Yeah, you guys are putting too much value on these vaginas.
By terrorists, by jihadists. So we're concerned about those. How do we eliminate these folks? And by the way, they're funded. They're funded by Qatar and Iran.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
Now you see these lousy motherfuckers. Qatar did give them money, but the money that were given to Hamas was the Israeli government asked them to give them money. Watch Joe Scarborough. He's gonna decimate him. Because he came with the fucking lies. Oh, they cooked babies. They hate us. They raped our women. The same motherfucking story. October 7th is irrelevant. After 40,000 people, fuck you. I don't want to talk about it no more.
Qatar is a big enemy of Israel.
They are, Mr. Mayor. Mayor, can I ask you a question? I'm so glad you brought that up. So I have always looked at Hamas as Nazis. They're terrorists. Have you always looked at Hamas as Nazis?
Unfortunately, yes, and it was demonstrated October 7 what they do.
Yeah, so you always have. Have most of the Israeli people always looked upon Hamas as Nazis?
Joe set him up. He set him up really good. I don't know why. I mean, there's a big change in the morning with Joe.
Well, you know, some of the people in Israel, because we seek peace, thought maybe one day they will prefer peace than war. October 7.
What about Benjamin Netanyahu? What about him? Has he always looked upon Hamas as Nazis?
Well, you're talking about Qatar or Hamas? Hamas. I think that.
You see, they purposely say the word Hamas. They could say Hamas, but it's purposely done. I don't know what reason. And you see the trickery motherfucker. He asked him a question. He goes, "Oh, what is it? I mean, Qatar. All of a sudden, Qatar is a fucking terrorist state. They negotiated your fucking people to come out. Watch him. Watch how the sneaky. Watch. Let me get the question.
Netanyahu. What about him? Has he always looked upon Hamas as Nazis?
Well, you're talking about Qatar or?
You talk about Qatar? He never mentioned Qatar. He never did.
Hamas.
Hamas.
I think that everyone understands that Hamas's charter is to destroy Israel. And by the way, not only Israel.
So you've always known this. I mean, yeah, we know the charter.
Yes.
So let me.
You know what I found out in this war? The Jews are fucking idiots when it comes to lying. They can't lie. They say the dumbest lie, and they make lies so big you can't believe them. They are bad haspra, bad liars, by the way.
Ask you this question, and I can't get an answer, and maybe we're just not covering it in the press. Maybe you can help me out. Why did Benjamin Netanyahu send the head of Mossad to Doha 3 weeks before the worst attack on Jews since the Holocaust and told Qatar to continue funding Hamas?
I think, if anything, October 7 shattered that concept. And it's my understanding.
But you just said you always knew they were Nazis. I always knew they were Nazis. I would never give. We were always angry that Qatar funded Hezbollah and Hamas. I want to know, why did Benjamin Netanyahu do that? Let me ask you this. Why did Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump know in 2018?
Qatar did not fund Hezbollah. They did give money to Hamas on the permission of the Israeli government. The government begged them to give them. Because
the sources of Hamas's illicit funding, and they still did nothing. They wanted that money to get to Hamas. I'd like to know why, because we don't know in America. Have there been any investigations in Israel at this point?
I'm sure we'll investigate it, and I totally agree with you. That Qatar is a wolf in sheep's clothes. And they're buying their way in.
No. I must correct you. Benjamin Netanyahu was asked by the leaders of Qatar, do you want us, Qatar, to give money to Hamas? This was in September. And Netanyahu's representative said, yes, of course. You're feeding that wolf, and you're telling that wolf to feed the Nazis in Gaza. So explain to me, because I really want to know, why was Benjamin Netanyahu and his government funding? They were allies with Qatar in the funding of Hamas. Why?
I think it's a mistake, and it was uncovered October 7th.
It's not a mistake. I knew this a long time ago. You see, I got a fucking good mind, man. I really do. Sometimes I read articles and I have known that Hamas was being pumped by Israel for a long time ago. I even said it in a debate with Kevin Cassidy about 3-4 years ago. The reason was very simple: divide and conquer. So the Israeli right-wing Likud, Netanyahu, thought that a strong Hamas that hate Fatah, the secular part of the Palestinian movement that's in Ramallah in the West Bank, so to create these two entities fighting each other from two different parts of what is supposed to be a Palestinian state. So if you keep them fighting and hating each other and give them money and everything, then you prevent a Palestinian state from taking place. Very simple: divide and conquer. Oh, thank God. What's the watch the plan? So you hear what I'm saying? That's what it is. He's not going to tell you that.
October 7th demonstrated that if you think you could buy quiet, peace, by funding Hamas, it's a huge mistake.
You were not buying peace. Stop lying.
And it's clear to me right now.
Why did Benjamin Netanyahu, knowing that their charter said that they were to kill Jews and eradicate Israel, why would any leader of Israel work to fund that organization to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars and work with Qatar to fund Hamas?
I think that question should be asked, and we'll get an answer. We'll
It's
ask.
been asked. When are we going to get the answer?
Fine.
We've been asking it for 6 months. When are we going to get the answer?
At the end of the day, once we finish the war, all these challenges will rise and we'll deal with them. Right now, we're focused on winning the war. And I want to make sure.
I need to ask you another question.
Please.
I want to ask you another question because you brought this up.
Yes.
You brought it up, and it is so sickening to think about the Israeli women that were beaten, raped.
All right. See what they're doing right now? Now he yelled at him to show that he has muscles, and then he started now to suck that fucking jelly dick. Oh, those raped. As soon as he started talking, look, he put the poster up, everything's okay, and now they're fucking friends. Fuck you, Joe. I thought he was independent. You saw that, right? Yeah, man, that's great. All right, now we're gonna go for the last. I want you to. I know a lot of people are gonna watch this later. I hope they're gonna watch this later. I'm gonna break this into pieces. I just don't look good, man. All right. This is about AIPAC. AIPAC is the Israeli Jewish lobbyist in Washington D.C. and it spends almost $100 million to $200 million a year to elect or get rid of Congress or congresswomen or senators from the United States government. Now we're going to show you how much they make. We're going to go. They have this new Twitter account where it tells you how much every American official gets from the organization called AIPAC. Sorry about that. Getting tired, man. Here we go. Lonely and in love, I don't know what to tell you why. Here we go. AIPAC, let's go. Boom. These 14 members of Congress received more than $1 million and supported from the pro-Israeli. Here they are. Shame on you. This is the 118th Congress. That's the Congress right now. Bob Menendez, $2.5 million. And he's under investigation for corruption. He got gold from Egypt. Mitch McConnell, $1.95 million. Chuck Schumer, $1.73 million. These two guys, one is the leader of the Senate for the Mitch McConnell is the leader of the Republican Party inside the Senate, and Chuck Schumer is the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate, and he is the president of the Senate right now. Steny Hoyer, there's a guy from Maryland. He's old. He's a nice guy, but he's still, he's a puppet. $1.66 million. Ted Cruz, $1.43 million. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. 1, 2, going once, going twice, going twice. Just Gothenheimer, $1.43 million. Here we go. Hakeem Jeffrey, who is the new leader of the Democratic Party. I feel sorry for him. He's owned by Nancy Pelosi, by everybody. He has no independence, and he's owned by AIPAC. But he got $1.3 million. Ron Wyden, $1.28 million. Brad Schneider, $1.22 million. Richie Torres, this is a piece of shit from New York, $1.21 million. Dick Durbin, nice guy, but still $1.13 million. Chantel Brown, corrupt in Ohio. She's owned by them. Mark Rubio, Little Rubio, piece of shit, garbage. I don't like him. Lindsey Graham, the worst senator in U.S. history. Full of shit. All these people get all this money. That's a lot of money. Imagine if Arabs gave money. The Arabs did give money like that. It's called the Arab scam in the 1970s. Tim Scott, U.S. Senator from South Carolina, $378,000. Don Goldman, very rich guy. He is the heir to the Lee Jeans company. He's worth hundreds of million dollars. He's a congressman from New York. $135,000. Jonah Ernest, I don't even know this, U.S. Senator from Iowa, 441,000. Holy shit. Here we go. Who's this guy? Oh. The compensation for most senators. Oh, that's not it. Hold on, sorry. Sorry. Okay, I can't bring it up. Sorry. Oh, fuck, I lost it. Oh, man. Okay, Brad Schneider, 1.219 million. Who is this? What witness in Gaza was not in the war? It is an. Oh, this is what she's saying. This is a bit. Let's see what she has to say. Hold on.
One of its remaining working hospitals. On his return, he described the carnage inflicted by Israel's bombardment. He spoke of the sea of tents around Gaza.
This is the segment, the last segment of how much money did you get from AIPAC? Okay. Kathy Britt, U.S. Senator from Alabama, 102,000. The Southern Senators ain't getting shit. No respect. Saw this guy before. John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. He switched on us, guys. 244,000. Any more? How much? Yeah, we're gonna do this tomorrow, okay? This is unbelievable. I read an article. You know, they have these prisoners and they hold them in such bad condition, the way they tie their hands and their legs until they lose blood and they end up cutting their legs off or their hands off. Israel does not need to stay. Israel is not a country, guys. These people don't want to live with nobody, man. Let's be honest with each other. Hold on. Yeah. What's going on? Who's there? Oh, there you go. Israel should not be a country, man. I'm telling you. I mean, it's sad what they're doing to the Palestinians. I mean, they are committing so much crime. I mean, and they get away for it. I mean, I don't know why, man. You know, if I say, oh, because they're Jewish, it's a Jewish state. I mean, let's be honest. It's not anti-Semitism to tell the truth. That's the way they get. That's why they get away with it. Because they're Jewish, man. If this was another country, this would not be happening. You're arresting people and you got to cut their legs and hands because they lost blood because you tied them up fouls, man. Fuck off, man. Anyway, I'll see you maybe Tuesday, right? Because there's some college football on Monday. Thank you for watching. Please share this video. Please like. I am your brother, Omar. Omar from the third rail. God bless everybody. God bless you all. Thank you.